Hello. I want to talk to you about the article, the Boston Globe article about what age segregation does to America in a second. And by the way, thanks Val for sending it to me. But before I do, because it's on age segregation, I wanted to share some things with you about my life. On my bookshelf, I have 2 copies, because I sometimes give them to my friends who have babies, of my favorite childhood book, How Fletcher Was Hatched. Now, if we had all the video time in the world, I would sit here like the librarian and read to you. Which always, how the librarians read like this was beyond me. It's difficult. To our daughter, Alexandra. I guess it's not as difficult as I thought. Anywho, this book is great. It's about this dog Fletcher, and his owner was his best friend, and then she got sidetracked with some other things, and so he had to do some creative innovation to get noticed, and as you can guess, he hatched himself. Great book, but please don't buy it online, because I'm trying to find all the copies because it's out of print. Don't buy it. That's the worst book marketing ever done. Here's a great book. If you buy it, I will find you. So that's something from my childhood. Something that kids don't deal with is hot sauce, sriracha. And now that I'm an adult, I'm obsessed with hot sauce. And I was going to have a little snack right before doing this video because I was really hungry. I'm going to dinner with friends in like an hour, but I just can't hold off. And this is actually a snack I've never had before. My friend the other day was eating carrots with sriracha sauce, and I was like, that's weird and disgusting. And then I tried it, and it was really good. And so then I saw my sriracha in the fridge, and then I had a cucumber. I didn't have carrots, and I was like, well, I'm going to try it, and we're just going to do this for the first time ever. I hope you could have seen how big a scoop of sriracha that was. Okay. It was a very big scoop. Anyways, it's good. It actually is good, and it's probably healthy to some degree. We don't really know what's in sriracha. Flames. Yeah, I probably shouldn't keep eating. I'll eat the snack after the video, okay? Anyways, that's me being an adult. You learned something about me as a kid. The reason I'm so passionate about age segregation, and why my friend Val sent me this article from the Boston Globe. My mouth is on fire. I didn't get a glass of water. Is because I did this little thing called the Illumination Project. And what I realized, there's a problem because so many of us, we lump with people who are in our same life, age, and stage. And there's so much to learn from people who are in different cultures, life stages, but we just separate ourselves. And some researchers at MIT are starting to take notice of kind of the different research that's been done on racial segregation and how it's impacted America, and are starting to see trends that run really deep with age segregation as well. And one of the things, we always talk about delayed adolescence and all that stuff. And back in the Industrial Revolution, when all of a sudden, families worked together. And so mothers, fathers, they had a family business. Kids interacted with their mom and dad, learned how to do the family business. But then Industrial Revolution happened. Kids went into factories. And then people tried to pull away from that. We cannot have child labor, which is a great thing. But now, because we've become such a child-focused culture, they're looking at kids. I took like spoonful bites. Maybe I should just have a cucumber by itself. They looked at kids in other cultures who are around, it's not child labor, but they're around their parents and adults who are working a lot. And then in children's play, they incorporate, they pretend like they're working, and they understand that culture and the ethic of working. And so for that alone, that's very fascinating, because I see that connection to the delayed adolescence. But then also just because I think there's so much wisdom from older, wiser counsel, and that's what I talk about all the time. And especially in the church, I see this separation. And I just had coffee with a woman a couple of hours ago who is, she and her husband work at a church, and she leads women who are in their 20s in a small group. And there's just no older women in the church that feel adequate to hang out with these younger women, and the younger women don't even know how to interact with people who are older or younger, and they're just so focused on what's going on in their life. And I just think there's so much power to being in conversation. And that's why I'm posting this article. That's why Val sent it to me. And was there anything else I wanted to tell you? Go find an older person. I mean, not all old people are wise, though. My friend Dorothy, who lives around the corner from me, she's at the old folks' home. I go see her from time to time, and she is just a, what's an old term? Spitfire. A little firecracker. But I sit with her, and we do learn from each other, but she did give me some bad advice. I was talking to her about a boy that I liked, but that it was no longer. She's like, in her little wheelchair. She's like, call him. That's how she talks. Call him right now. I'm like, no, Dorothy, nothing's going on with us anymore. I can't just go, I want to hear what he has to say. So some old folks will just peer pressure you like your peers. So don't give in to Dorothy-esque older women, but hang out with them. They're still fascinating. I've been hanging out with her for a few years. Last time we hung out, she was like, yeah, I tell you about the time I got shot in the head. Yeah, maybe she's making it up, but she said it was a bullet grazed her head. Yeah. Dorothy's hardcore. So am I with the sriracha. Because we're adults. All right, enjoy the article.